Talluri Srinivas garu.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Professor Talluri Srinivas, Dean, Faculty of. Sir.
Hello.
Sir. Srinivas, sir. 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 Professor P. Srinivas garu, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Management and Law. Then,
Good morning, Professor Swaroop.
Sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir,
Professor Parida is good friend of mine, Mr.
Swaroop.
Swaroop.
University, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Swaroop.
Yes, sir.
Your Professor Parida is good friend of mine.
Yes. From Commerce.
I came to your Utkal University twice.
Sir. Convey your good wishes, sir.
Yeah.
Convey the message, sir.
Sir, right, sir. Proceed, sir. Proceed. Thank you for your accepting our invitation, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Yeah. Proceed, Amrut. Amrut, please proceed.
Sir, next I would like to introduce the Chairman Board of Studies in Management, Dr. Y. Subbarayadu garu. Sir, please, sir. Yes, sir. Just speak out. Speak. Sir. Sir, this is Dr. Y. Subbarayadu, sir, Chairman Board of Studies in Management and CDC Dean, Yamuna University, Kadapa, sir. Hello. Sir, good morning. Sir,
we are getting you. Subraidu, we are getting you.
Okay. External.
Dr. Swaroop, are you comfortable?
Sir? Yes, very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Our Subraidu is greeting you.
Yes.
Sir, good morning.
All professors. Good morning to all professors, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you.
Sir, next I would like to introduce
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I think there is some issue in the audio somewhere.
Okay, sir. Next,
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Please kindly check the audio. It comes in breaks.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Dr. E. Sarita, Associate Professor, Dean. He is also recently appointed as Dean.
Student. Mask తీయండి. Mask తీయండి.
Thank you, sir.
Mask తీయండి.
Hello. Sir,
It's audible to me, but it's coming in breaks.
okay, sir. So, Professor, Satyavarap sir, and Payables committee member, I would like to invite Mrs. I would not like to present her research work. Sir. So, present presentation, I request the chairman, Dr. Satyavarap sir, to conduct the further meeting, sir. Thank you, sir.
నాకు అడ్మిట్ చేయి.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, now you're audible. All the best. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
It's audible.
Respected Professor T. Srinivas, sir, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Management and Law, Professor Satyaswarup Debashis, External Expert Examiner, Dr. Y. Subbarayadu, sir, Chairman, BOS and Associate Professor, Dr. S. Venkata Subbareddy, sir, Head of the Department, Dr. A. Amrit Prasad Reddy, sir, Research Supervisor, Dr. P. Varaprabhakar, sir, Dr. P. Sarita, ma'am, Dr. B. Gangaya, sir, Dr. S. Subbareddy, sir, faculty members, research scholars, and participants, a very good morning to one and all, and heartily welcome to my PhD Open Vivos. Today, I am in front of you to present the PhD Vivos on a topic, a study on working capital management practices of select cement companies in India. To put about my research work,
I am not getting your voice, Mrs. Uma Devi.
yeah, sir, please, a minute, sir. There is a problem in sharing the slide.
No problem. No
Recover
problem.
it,
Take
sir.
your own time. Take
Thank
your own
you.
time. Don't be tense.
Yeah. To put forth my research work, I have credentials. So I put forth my research work. I have categorized the entire work into introduction, literature review, problem statement, objectives, and because we all know that plays a significant role in every business organization, which leads to the impact of liquidity and profitability. Most care is to be taken by the financial manager to maintain the trade-off between liquidity and profitability. So we have seen a lot of firms enter into the sick units because of lack of mismanagement practices of working capital management. I should be thankful to the literature review experts. By this, I have taken certain sort of emphasis to do my research work Yearly, I studied 1 or 2 research publications and articles, but reviewed 55. I have collected 1 or 2 total reviews. Among them, 55 studies of various researchers on the importance of working capital management laid a path for my research work. In that, I collected a few studies which are very much relevant, and the studies were collected from various electronic sources like Elsewhere, ResearchGate, Google Scholar, Quote, the period of 1994 to 2020. And here I have having certain sort of relevant works coming to the working capital management, Kent et al. Investigated in the year 2020, the working capital management practices implemented by Indian cement companies listed on the National Stock Exchange is very much related to my research work, and I have taken certain sort of information from that research work. And coming to the efficiency also, we have seen a number of studies, but in that, again, I have selected a few studies which are relevant to my studies, like Nidhi in 2016 has examined the working capital management effectiveness of selected cement companies in Rajasthan during 2011-2015. And Satya has also focused on the working capital management practices in relation with operational efficiency, liquidity, and profitability in case of 10 selected fast-moving consumable goods in India during 2004-2014. So likewise, I have also collected certain sort of research works related to the cash, inventory management, receivables management, and payables management. In that, standards is Kabiro et al. In 2019 examined the ability of listed cement companies in Nigeria, the period of 2008-2017. So I should be very much thankful to all these research scholars who has given certain sort of foundation for my work. And coming to the receivables and payable management also, Chen and Chi examined the impact of bank credit practices of working capital policies with special reference to selected public sector companies in United States. So these are the few studies which are relevant to my study. And let's get to the point of research gap. There are very few studies which are related to the cement industries, and in that studies also related to the working capital efficiency are also limited, and impact cement industries related to the working capital are also limited. But after emphasis about all these research gaps, I have found that there are no proper studies or made on major cement manufacturing companies regarding efficiency of cash and inventory and receivables management practices by using a particular technique called data envelopment analysis. So this is the research gap which we have found. And the statement of the problem, as we all know that India is the second largest cement manufacturing country in the entire world, and day to day, the infrastructure facilities has been raised. The countries like India need more development in the infrastructure where the cement plays a major role. And as a control policy, cement industry was partially decontrolled in 1982 and fully decontrolled with effect from 1990 on the recommendation of A.K. Ghosh Committee. In this, after independence, there are only 18 cement companies. But after this committee's references and recommendations, the action plan has been increased to 575 plans. And at the same time, the companies are also faced overcapacity buildup in a few years. That is because of mismanagement of working capital management practices, that it is very essential to analyze the various components of working capital in Indian cement industry. And that's what I have tried my level best to find the solutions for the effective working capital management practices in select cement companies in India. Need for the study. From the literature review, there are a number of studies related to the working capital management done by the academicians, researchers, and organizations. but they have shown certain sort of strategic moves on the impact of working capital on liquidity, profitability, EPS, MPS, and structure of working capital. But whereas studies covering all the dimensions of working capitals at the national levels are very few in the recent decades and far between as compared to studies at the international level. So it was understood that studies so far made has covered working capital lagging focus on specificity. Especially the specific thing has been not determined by any studies. So that's what I understood from that. And exclusive studies were made on major and minor cement manufacturing companies or very little and scanty. So that formed the basis for me to select the major cement manufacturing companies which are listed in BSc. Hence, an attempt has been made to study this working capital management practices in India. So to study, to do the research, I have identified the major objectives. One is study the size and composition of working capital, to analyze and compare the working capital management practices such as cash, inventory, receivables, and payables management practices of sample companies, and also to measure the efficiency, super efficiency of the working capital management by using a DEA analysis, to identify the inefficiency which companies are also, and also find out the reasons behind the inefficiency among the companies. So I laid the hypothesis of nearly 7. One is a significant difference in cash turnover ratio. There are significant differences in current ratio, significant differences in the quick ratio. There are significant differences in the inventory turnover ratio and differences in the inventory turnover ratio, payables turnover ratio, and also significant differences in the efficiency of working capital management practices among the select cement companies where I have taken alternative hypothesis for the test. So my period of the study is all about 2008-9 to 2017-18. The present study is mainly based on the secondary data. The required data for the sample companies were collected from the corporate database PROES of the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. So the sampling methodology, what I have used is deductive approach of simple random sampling technique for selecting the sample, and because we used the companies must and should be listed in the BSc and where they have a 10 years of manufacturing experience, and totally 23, I have identified 23 cement companies in the BSc. But by using the selective approach of simple random sampling, I have selected 4. That is, one is Ultratech Cement Limited, where it has been started in the year 1983. Sri Cement Limited started in the year 1979. Prism Cemented in 1992 and Saurashtra Cement Limited in 1993. So statistical tools applied or ratios, percentages, analysis of variance nothing but ANOVA, data development analysis, and efficiency analysis. Whereas software tools used are Excel, SPSS, SAS, and Strata. To simplify the data, complicated data into simple data, I have used this particular software technologies. And even though we have done our level best, but still we had also been suffering from the major limitations. That limitations were restricted to evaluate the efficiency of overall management of working capital only, where as its profitability is not measured. The study covers from the period of 2008-18, and the changes in the space before and after were not taken into consideration. Primary data does not have any impact on working capital management, hence it is excluded in study. But even though there are certain sort of drawbacks to collect the primary data, and the data are mainly on secondary in nature, and sufficient data is not available due to the confidentiality, which is reflected in the analysis and the conclusion of the study. Efficiency of cement companies are calculated based on the DEA software, which do not have any thumb rule for output of sample cement companies. So these are the various limitations which we had faced during the research study. And chapterization point of view, we have divided into 6. One is introduction, literature review and research methodology, profiles of the industry, analysis of working capital management practices as a one chapter, efficiency of working capital management practices, findings, suggestions, and conclusions. The heart of the study is all about the data analysis. So I would like to say the alternate information about the data analysis. So major findings and major information which was related to the research methodology has been collected in this way. And it is based on the objectives I have identified. I take the size and composition of the working capital management. I have used the CAGR method and identified the growth rate of current assets and current liabilities of all 4 cement companies, which I have seen it is UCL is 22.67%, SCL 14.83%, PCL 23.16%, and Saurashtra is 5.31%, whereas current liabilities it is 24.31%, 15.8% growth rate is identified, 28.56% growth rate is identified, but the Saurashtra has shown the negative growth rate during the study period. So I also calculated the composition of current assets in total assets. So this is about the information where current assets has been categorized into inventory, sundry debtors, cash and cash equivalents, short-term loans and advances, current investments. So I have specified the averages of this data and given certain sort of inferences related to this particular proportion. So whereas you can see also about the current liabilities in total liabilities, which has been like sundry creditors, short-term provisions and deferred tax liabilities, security deposits and advances, current maturity of long-term debts, short-term borrowings, liabilities for capital goods, net deferred taxes and others. So these are all about the numerical data which I have calculated by using an Excel and given the averages and portrayed on the charts. So the various cash management practices which we have identified in various sample companies are, they used to calculate the financial ratios and statistical techniques to identify the cash management practices. And regarding to the cash management practices, the various ratios used are cash to current assets ratio, cash to total assets ratio, cash ratio, cash to net working capital ratio, cash to net sales ratio, current ratio, quick ratio, and cash turnover ratio. So we also use the hypothesis testing, and the testing of the hypothesis framed regarding to the cash turnover ratio is there are significant differences in cash turnover ratio among select cement companies, and the test revealed that ANOVA test reveals that P value 0 is less than 0.05 and F value 9.542. This indicates that there are significant differences in cash turnover ratio of select cement companies during the study period. So therefore, the formulated hypothesis is accepted. Similarly, for current ratios also, the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Quick ratio also, it is accepted. And for inventory, only except the inventory turnover ratio, the relevant hypothesis which I have framed or all are accepted, but in the inventory turnover ratio, it is been rejected because we have find there are no significant differences in the inventory turnover ratio among the select cement companies. And coming to the receivables management, there are significant differences in debtors turnover ratio among the select cement companies. And it is also proved that the formulated alternative hypothesis is accepted because the F value calculated is greater than the F table value. So coming to the payables management, the framed hypothesis is about there are significant differences in payable turnover ratio among select cement companies. And it also proved that the calculated value is greater than the F table value. Hence, the hypothesis is being accepted. So all these hypotheses are made based on the objectives for the study, and they have also been interpreted the results and given the suggestions based on this hypothesis testing. So coming to the efficiency testing of all the sample cement companies, we have used a tool called data envelopment analysis. So By analyzing this data and by analyzing the data relevant to the cash management efficiency, it has been seen that during the entire tenure, SAUCL, Saurashtra Cement's efficiency. Sorry, sir. ఇక్కడ కనిపించట్లేదు సార్. కర్సర్ ఇక్కడ కనిపించట్లేదు. ఇక్కడ వ్యూ రావట్లేదు. ఇక్కడ ఒకటి టచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు మేడం, అన్ని చోట్ల వస్తుంది. చూడండి మేడం, ఇక్కడంతా చూపిస్తుంది కర్సర్, ఇక్కడంతా చూపిస్తుంది. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి రికార్డ్ అయింది.
అది
Sarita, let her talk, don't bother. We are able to see your PPT, Amma. You please proceed.
Sorry, sir. Okay, sir. So coming to the data envelopment analysis we have used, the efficiency point of view, I have found out that in the cash management efficiency, Saurashtra is doing well, which has been resulted as 0.95 compared to the UCL, which is 0.92, SCL 0.76, and PCL 0.92. So inventory management efficiency reveals that Ultratech Cement Company's efficiency is better in the inventory management compared to the SCL, PCL, and SAUCL. Whereas coming to the receivables and payables management efficiency, Saurashtra is doing better comparative to the rest of the companies. And regarding to the efficiency analysis also, we have framed one hypothesis that there are significant differences in the efficiency of working capital management. It has been proven that there are significant differences, hence the hypothesis is being accepted. So major findings of my study are, it is being inferred from the CAGR that the Saurashtra Cement Company is Limited is financing its current assets largely by long-term funds by using a conservative approach, whereas the rest of the firms are using the aggressive working capital strategy. And the current liabilities CAGR is also 28.56% of especially the Prism Cement, which is the highest among all the select cement companies. And Saurashtra has also declined negatively to 75%, which is the major change that we have identified among all the 4 cement companies. Relevant to the objective 2, the major finding is this, especially the Saurashtra and Prism Cement Company's cash position is good based on the data analysis. And coming to the cash ratio also, the Saurashtra Cement Company has average cash ratio which is higher than the other cement companies. And Prism Cement Companies also maintained a good liquidity position comparative to the Saurashtra Cement Company. In an average, Saurashtra cash reserves are enough to meet the expenses for 9 days, which is the highest among all the cement companies. And cash to coverage, expenses coverage days of all 4 cement companies are at very least during the entire study period, which indicates that incapability to meet daily operating expenses of industry during the uncertain and adverse financial conditions in the industry. So cash reserves to meet employees' cost has also been seen higher in the Saurashtra Cement Company, that is about 149 days, whereas Shree Cement Company is 59 days during the study period. This is mainly because of the reason high cash reserves and low employees cost in these companies. Different companies are having different scenarios. So no particular company is following all the same scenarios. That is what I identified by using this cash management practices. So coming to the inventory management practices, even though all the companies are around an average of inventory turnover ratio of 10 to 12 times, in the beginning, the Prism Cement Company has reported a good indication for their effective utilization of inventory. But later again, they keep on changing from year to year. So we have find different changes in the inventory turnover ratios as well as in the inventory management practices. To some years, they are performing well. After that, in certain sort of years, they are not doing well. So that is what I have identified in all the cement manufacturing companies. So even in the Ultratech and Prism Cement Limited has reported uptrend in their inventory turnover from beginning of the study period to the end of the study period, which indicates efficient management of inventory. And in contrast, Shree and Saurashtra Limited has reported downtrend in their inventory turnover from the beginning period to ending of the period, which indicates less efficiency in management inventory. So coming to the debtors turnover ratio, Prism Cement has maintained the highest current assets Prism's practices of debtors turnover ratio are poor due to the poor debt recovery, and Shree has the best debtor management practices from my studies. I came to know from my studies. Whereas the third objective is related to the efficiency. And efficiency point of view, there is the ANOVA test results in relation to the comparison of efficiencies among select cement companies, which reveal that all 4 cement companies are significantly differ in their usage of inputs and lead to differ in their efficiencies. So among all the companies, it has been proven that Shree Cement Company is far better comparative to the other companies. And coming to the super efficiency also, Shree Cement, that why we are saying it as a super efficiency means out of 10 years, 9 years, the Shree Cement has been proved super efficient in the usage of working capital inputs. Whereas Prism and Saurashtra occupied next to Shree Cement by proving super efficient for 8 years and 7 years. But even though the Ultratech is the major company which is having the highest market capitalization, but not proper utilizing the inputs, they have proven inefficient nearly for 4 years out of 10 years. And inefficiency point of view, I have specified each and every company in which years they are inefficient. Coming to the Ultratech Cement, it is proved inefficient in the years 2010, 2011, 2012, 15, 16, and 17. Whereas Prism Cement Company proved inefficient in the years 10, 11, 12, 13, and Saurashtra Cement proved inefficient in the years 10, 11, and 11, 12. The reason is only the excessive utilization of inputs for attaining the same levels of output values for all these years. So from the findings, I would like to give certain sort of suggestions to my research study is that the study revealed that Prism Cement Limited and Saurashtra Cement Limited are not effectively managing their huge cash reserves by investing in marketable securities, which enhances their profitability. Therefore, it is suggested that Prism and Saurashtra may invest their cash reserves in profitable investments instead of maintaining idle and unproductive. It is also found that all cement companies except Saurashtra have reduced their liquidity position during the study period, which is not a good sign for their financial health. Hence, it is suggested them to restore their liquidity position. And it is also observed that current assets turnover ratio is very low in Ultratech Cement, and that is recommended to improve their current assets turnover ratio. Why? Because it will reflect the efficiency of the companies in conversion of the current assets into sales. It is also observed that among all 4 cement companies, Shree Cement Limited only reported lowest cash turnover ratio, therefore suggested to take required reforms for improvement in current assets turnover ratio. The lowest cash ratio is found in Ultratech Cement and Shree Cement, which reflects future payment problems to the creditors. Hence, it is suggested to maintain an adequate cash ratio to avoid the future cash problems. Similarly, all the companies are also having the lowest cash ratio, especially it is found in the Ultratech Cement Limited and Shree Cement Limited, which is a major drawback for the company. Hence, it is suggested to maintain the adequate cash ratio. So coming to the cash turnover ratio was abnormal in the Prism and Saurashtra Cement. So it is suggested to improve their efficiency by converting sales into cash. The Prism Cement Limited's debtors management practices are very poor. So hence it is suggested to follow certain sort of techniques and frame quality credit policy. And from the analysis of raw materials to inventory, all the companies are carrying excessive raw materials, again, which leads to the idle funds. Again, it is a drawback of the companies, so that they need to recover it by doing certain sort of, taking certain sort of measures. So work in progress to inventory ratio is more than the acceptable level in all the cement companies during the period. So this is due to the lack of speed and smooth flow of work and lack of reducing the manufacturing cycle. Therefore, it is suggested to minimize their work in progress inventory by reducing their manufacturing cycle. Overstock of finished goods are also being seen in the selected cement companies, and hence the cement companies have to reduce that conversion of finished goods to sales, which leads to increase in the profitability. A high and increasing trend ratio of inventory to total assets is observed in all the cement companies except Ultratech Cement companies. So that is the reason why Ultratech is not performing well in the 10 years compared to the other companies. So hence it is suggested to maintain an adequate inventory for the smooth functioning of the production. The companies like Ultratech and Saurashtra are heavily suffered due to the overblocking of current assets. So hence it is recommended that the company should maintain an optimum level of current assets against current liabilities to achieve an ideal level. So hence I would like to conclude the various practices by 2 sentences that that all 4 selected cement companies kept the cash reserves at lower levels. So hence they need to recover that. At the same time, more than 90% of the sales are in the form of credit in the case of all cement companies. Particularly, it is little higher in the case of Ultratech and Shree Cement. Hence, it is to be recovered. Further, it is concluded that except Saurashtra, there is a need for the improvement of liquid reserves in all the cement companies to face future unanticipated financial and payment problems in the industry. Whereas the empirical results also witness good quality management of data, signs of high debtors turnover ratio, low collection period, low debtors to net sales ratio, and low proportion of debtors in relation to its current and total assets and current liabilities in case of Shree, Ultratech, and Saurashtra cement companies. The results prove that Ultratech Cement Company and Prism Cement companies are more efficient in the inventory than Shree Cement and Saurashtra Cement. But among all those things, the Prism Cement company's debtors turnover ratio is, the debtors management practices are good. Overall, the study observed that Ultratech and Shree Cement companies' working capital management practices are significantly effective than Prism and Saurashtra Cement companies on the ground of liquidity management, cash management, debtors, and inventory management. So by the study also, we have given certain sort of emphasis to the future research, that they can be done the future research on a comparative study of the working capital management on various manufacturing firms like sugar in the various manufacturing sectors like sugar, steel, textile, etc. of public and private companies in India. And there is also a wider scope for future further research in this area that is to be done more extensively. And parameters like analysis of individual debtors, creditors, stock and cash flow analysis may further be increased to get more detailed result in this area. So the working capital management and its impact on firms' performance can also be done. A comparative study on working capital management practices of Indian companies with international companies can also be done. And study of working capital requirements of other capital intensive studies could be taken up in the next study. And apart from that also, we can also inculcate this working capital management practices, which also leads to the share value. So nowadays, in the financial management, the profit management is not only important, but wealth management is also important. So we should lay the emphasis of the working capital management such that the practices, whatever we are using, can also increase the share value. So this is all about my research presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, Satya Swarup garu.
Yes, Madam Uma Devi, you had an excellent presentation. I think you have covered almost all the important aspects as far as the thesis is concerned, starting with the problem statement, ending with the scope of further studies. Before I put my questions, and there are a lot of questions from the examiner's report also. If any of professors over here would like to put a question, then we might have in the end.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Swarup. I would like to ask one or two simple questions. Mrs. Uma Devi, can you explain me what is that simple random sampling and how you have used it in your work practically?
Yes, sir. Sir, as for the limitation, what we have faced and drawbacks of the beginning of the research, we have gone with the simple random sampling, sir. Especially in the selection of the sample size, if we take the BSc, automatically BSc is a very transparent body where all the data is available to the entire public and all the transactions are very transparent. So I have chosen the BSc, sir, and among the BSc, we have a lot of categorization of sectors. So in that, I have taken the cement industry where we have two sectors, sir, minor and major. So in the major itself, again, only 23 major cement companies are there, sir. So whereas as for the convenience point of view and whereas the reports point of view, I have selected the simple random, sir. That is what, and I have selected sample as per our accordance, sir.
What is meaning of simple random sampling, madam?
Simple random means among the number of samples, we can take any samples based on our convenience, sir.
That is called convenience sampling, no? You are telling about convenience sampling. Have you gone through that?
Randomly, I have selected, sir.
Randomly?
I have selected, sir.
What is random?
Is it convenient sampling or random sampling? Which one that you have followed?
Simple random sampling. The number of samples are there. We have taken 4 samples. Sir. Convenience as well
simple
as
random is different and the convenient sample is different. Which one that exactly say that? Which one that you have followed?
Random sampling, sir.
Can you tell me how you have used that simple random sampling in your study?
Sir, here
whatever you told is not acceptable, madam. To
okay,
be straight.
Sir. Okay, sir. Market capitalization, I have gone through that, sir. Market capitalization. If you take the Ultratech, the market capitalization in lakh crores, sir, whereas the Prism, it is in 70,000 crores, whereas in
that is in no way connected to this simple random sampling, Uma Devi.
Sir.
Right. Okay. What is data envelope analysis? What is meaning of data envelope analysis?
data envelopment analysis means, sir, we have taken inputs and outputs, sir, and identified the efficiency. And that efficiency results we have taken, and we also
For that,
identified
you
slack
told that
base.
efficiency analysis you have done.
Based on the data envelopment analysis, only efficiency analysis has been performed, sir.
What is that you have done in that data envelope analysis?
I have calculated, sir.
How?
Input by output, sir.
Input by output is not data envelope analysis.
What inputs that you have given, what outputs that you have given, you have got.
And that too is that is not data envelope analysis, madam.
What is the main purpose of applying this data envelopment analysis?
I am new to the technique. You try to
What is
tell me.
the additional benefit that you have got from this data envelopment analysis?
So by using the data envelopment analysis, I have identified the slack, sir. So for similar inputs in different companies, they are producing different outputs, right? They are using.
For what? The basic question is for what? For what purpose we use or we apply this data envelopment analysis? The purpose of
To identify the efficiency.
efficiency.
Right, Uma Devi.
Relative efficiency.
Uma Devi.
Relative efficiency. When you are analyzing a number of companies at a time, so just for comparing the one firm with the top another firm, which are doing the similar activities, then at that time only we apply this data envelopment analysis. Are you getting? So who developed this development data envelopment? Is it the new one or it's it's a old one?
Not totally new, sir, but
When it was came into existence, when it came into existence,
seriously,
who was the first person who applied this data envelopment analysis?
in the banks actually they use, sir, not in the cement industry. Earlier days it is used in the banks, but recently we have used for the cement industry.
Cement company. And then my question is, who first introduced or applied this data envelopment analysis?
And research work it is there, sir.
And what are the research journals, articles that you have referred, which where the data envelopment analysis has been used? What are the articles that you have referred? Generally, before applying any kind of application or any tool, generally we refer to some journals where this data envelopment analysis, right? So what journals that you have referred?
I have referred
Relation to this data envelopment analysis.
Mrs. Uma Devi,
sir.
you told that it is used in banking sector.
Yes, sir. Earlier days it is.
Now you have used in cement sector.
Yes, sir.
Under what conditions they have used in banking sector? Is it relevant to the cement tech sector or not? What is the background work you have done for this?
Actually,
is there any article where they have used in cement works, cement industry?
Sir, is there, sir?
In cement industry. In cement industry.
Is there?
In cement industry, there are articles. Are you confident enough, Uma Devi? Are you confident enough?
Yes, sir. It is there, sir. These are the various
in cement company
being done on this, sir.
In cement company.
Data envelopment analysis.
Sir?
In cement company, data envelope analysis was done by some research scholars. That's what you are telling. Can you tell me one article where they have used data envelope analysis in cement industry?
Yes, sir. Paran et al. Has investigated into this one, sir, 2015.
Which type of journal they have published?
Journal. Sorry, sir.
Whether that is there in a UGC care list or that Scopus Index journal or some SAGE journals like that. What is the authenticity of that article?
No, you didn't mention that that they have used that data envelopment, applied the data envelopment analysis.
All the data development analysis tools who used studies only.
All these studies, huh?
All these studies. I also use the efficiency by identified the efficiency by using data envelopment through all the studies.
Okay, Uma Devi.
My question is, what additional benefit that you have got from this data development analysis?
We have identified the slacks things for similar inputs. Certain sort of companies or they are using excessive inputs to produce the similar outputs. Say, for example, for 10,000 input they are producing, some people are producing 5,000 output, some people are producing 10,000 output. So that slack between 5 to 10, so which companies are using? I think they are mismanaging the inputs also, sir. That we have identified by using this data envelopment analysis.
Have you compared these among the companies or among the people? How did you compare this? Means, so for slack among the efficiency that you have measured among the companies or among the people?
The companies.
Among the companies. Huh? But you are telling that people, you are using the word people.
Sorry.
Okay, right. And
Okay,
my
Uma Devi Garu, in many of the suggestions, you have told that some certain techniques, certain measures, is it valid? In suggestions part, you have used some certain techniques. What do you mean by some certain techniques?
As a
You are giving
researcher, you would have found some, the suitable technique through which the company can be developed the efficiency or the deviation, right? So without telling that, without mentioning that, just simply you have said that some techniques can be used to improve or to, what are that some techniques? That is what I was asking.
So for
You have to find the technique. You have to suggest the technique, suitable technique.
conservative techniques, aggressive techniques, and which are
suitable technique that you have to mention. So some techniques, what are the some techniques? Sir, answer to.
I am not interested in knowing theoretical knowledge, ma'am. Because you are the researcher, you have done a lot of research and you have spent on that for 4 years. And finally, you are giving presentation and you are giving suggestions to the policymakers and the academicians, saying that some certain techniques is that phrase is itself is very high, objectionable. And in another suggestion, you told that certain measures. These vague statements are not valid, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Specifically, you are giving suggestions. You have worked on that particular topic for years together.
Yes, sir.
And finally, you are coming out with a certain document. And you are proving yourself here. Whatever document you have produced, that is to be used by the policymakers, if necessary. Is it not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At that stage, if you give such type of vague statements and sweeping statements, is it acceptable, ma'am?
No, sir. I'll suggest, sir.
Okay. The floor is to Subraidu, Dr. Subraidu.
Yes, sir.
Please carry on.
Yeah, right. Uma Devi,
Sir.
this working capital management, what's your topic? Working capital? Your topic is working capital management?
Practices.
What's management practices?
Practices of cement companies.
I think this is the oldest topic. Even my childhood also, I have been observing this working capital management. Even right. So, why did you select this such age-old topic?
Even though it is the oldest topic, sir, but still the companies are not finding the right suggestions for the proper working capital management practices, sir.
Sir, can you say that with your suggestions, the companies can manage their working capital in an efficient manner? Are there suggestions like that in
Sir,
your
if you
thesis?
use this DEA,
All the suggestions what you have given are not new suggestions. Already, this kind of suggestions have been given in number of theses by number of people. So no new suggestion is found in this, I think. Right? Am I right or wrong? So if it is the case, why did you do that work on that particular area again? If you are going to go any new suggestion, of course, working capital is the evergreen problem. Either the company may be the old or new or whatever it may be. So working capital is a continuous problem, no doubt on it. But on this area, number of people have done their researches and have given the number of radius of suggestions. And your suggestions are also similar to that one, right? So here, I think I didn't find any new suggestion. If it is the case, so what you are saying to the companies?
let me clarify, sir. See, sir, even though it is an old topic, but still, even say cement industry is a large industry in India, but every year lot of sick units are merging, sir. If you take the Bharati Cement also, in the beginning it is a high-profiled company, but now the position of it is totally in a downtrend. So the reason is even that is the reason the foreign companies are coming and take over the companies of India. So we are not finding the right measures, sir. So here to give the right measures, each
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah,
every
that is what I'm asking. Say for example, yeah, right. Yeah, say for example, so debt management system is not good, and there
Yes.
are a number of the debt is, over and above the expected level in particular company. So, what suggestion that you have given to manage the debt efficiently? I think no suggestion, no suggestion. The total suggestions what you have given are the ready-made, are the suggestions which are already given by the number of people. Of course, with regard to this current working capital, there are a number of problems, no doubt on it. The companies are continuously facing the problems relating to this. But what kind of additional or new suggestions that you have given, and with which the companies, do you give any guarantee, or at least can you hope that through these suggestions the companies can manage their efficiency well in future?
Yes, sir, that's what I'm saying, sir. If you identify the slack, where in each and every case, what are the problems with the cash management, problems with the inventory management and receivables? And I have studied the four companies. Four companies are performing differently in different stages. So one company is good at cash management practices, second company is good at inventory, and third company is good at receivables. So accordingly, depending upon that position, depending upon the situation, demand and all the supply, the company has to put forth the suggestion, proper techniques, sir. And proper means in the sense, the right technique for them.
What is that right?
So here what I
Say
suggest
for
is,
example, there is a problem in the inventory. In one company, there is a over inventory, and in one company, there is a gap in the maintenance of this
yes, sir.
inventory. So, for this two, what kind of suggestions or techniques that you will suggest to improve this?
Sir, in the Prism Cement, if you take inventory policy is not up to the mark and credit policy is also not up to the mark. So the days of data's conversion period is to be reduced as we have suggested in this.
Right. How can they reduce this data
Previously
conversion?
it is 40 days, now it has to be reduced to 21
Yeah,
days.
that's what. So if you don't give the credit,
Yeah.
they cannot manage the things. Means so they cannot have the sales, proper sales,
Sir.
if you don't give the credit.
Yes, sir.
So if they give credit, definitely they cannot collect the credit amount from the debtors. So what techniques that you suggest to reduce that debtors collection period? That is what we want. How?
By
Of course, the
providing
companies
some,
are trying on that, and they are not getting the right solution on that.
if you are going to go with the cash sales, providing certain sort of discounts and offers to the suppliers or all those such type of things has to be done, sir.
You have to mention that. Yeah, this is the problem that the companies are facing with regard to the debtors collection period. Say if they follow this technique, definitely they can manage. Means they can collect the data. Like that, you have to mention. Yeah. So if you can do that, just if you really face the problem and go to the company and collect the data, just by sitting in the room and house on your own chain and taking the annual reports of the companies and doing that work, definitely we cannot do any result.
Primary information should also
Yeah,
be
yeah, we have to go to the field and find the problems of the companies and the people who are in the real activities, so that we can at least give some solutions.
Definitely, sir. That is what the limitation also we have suggested, sir.
Yeah,
Because of some sort of limitations only, it's not possible for us to collect much more on the, depend on much more on the primary data.
And my last question is, what is the link between this, working capital and the data envelopment analysis?
Working
What
capital,
do we do in the working capital and what do we do in this data envelopment analysis? How would you relate about this and how do you get the results, fruitful results out of this?
relation between the
And
working capital
is there,
and
is there necessary to apply this data envelopment analysis in the working capital management?
it is necessary.
How?
That's what, to find the impact of inputs and outputs, sir, especially. So how the
What
impacts are giving the relevant
what kind of inputs that we have in this
like raw materials,
working capital management?
raw materials, sir, payables, credit, inventory, all these inputs we can take, sir. To what extent those are, if say raw material, if it is there, whether the raw materials are effective, utilized or not. That is one thing. And inventory, if you take, whether this inventory is converted into sales or not in the right time, within the right time. So credit is there, whether that credit amount has been converted into cash within the short span of time or not. So for all these particular problems, we find the solution from the DEA analysis. It will helps us. It helps us to understand. So what is the major drawback that we are seeing in why not collecting the data, or why we are not utilizing the inventory properly, or why we are not converting the raw materials into work in progress and finished goods? For all these particular problems, it provides the solutions, and it will helps us to understand where the problem is, so that we can cope up with the problem and find the solution.
Okay.
Ratios only helps us to know whether it is doing good or not. It will help you to understand whether the performance is well or able to meet the future requirements or not. But coming to the ratios, the old studies, as Wasar said, there are a lot of studies which are relevant to the ratio analysis. It will makes us to understand what is the position. But if you take the DEA analysis, it will helps you to understand the reasons for inefficiency also. It will make us to know why the company is efficient, why the company is super efficient, and why the company is inefficient. So that is the major things. Quantitative. Yes, sir. And it also makes you to know the difference, madam. How much difference? Why you are not utilizing the inputs properly? Where you are lagging? So that all slack-based analysis concept is there, ma'am, in the DEA analysis. So for the relevant input, how much output is to be produced? 4 companies we have taken. Some companies with the same input are giving the effective output, but other companies, when you compare, that are producing very little output. So we identified that slack and saying to the companies that UCL, you are having the slack in these areas, SCL having the slack in these areas, and Prism and Saurashtra also. At compare, if we can use the software, and easily we can able to identify the results.
Sir, Srinivas sir.
Okay, professors, can I intervene?
Yeah, sir, sure, sir.
Okay, can I intervene, please?
Yeah, please, sir.
Okay, sir. I think we had a lot of questions posed to the candidate, and all are relevant questions. The candidate has been able to successfully defend till now most of the questions. There are certain pertinent questions which are also there in the report, and I have my personal questions also. Madam Umadevi, kindly explain
Sir.
the justification in taking ANOVA technique, analysis of variance. What is the justification in taking ANOVA?
Yes, sir. Coming to the ANOVA technique, so it will help us to identify the sample, whatever we have taken, is from the entire population or not.
Okay, fine. But as far as the cement industry is concerned,
Yes, sir.
the record shows that around 23 to 24 companies are listed in BSE, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you have taken 4 companies.
Yes, sir.
Are the representative?
Sir?
Are these 4 companies representative?
Yes, sir. Representative in the sense means, see, Ultratech is having the huge market capitalization, sir. In the lakhs it is having, whereas Sri Cement is all about 70,000 crores. And coming to the Saurashtra, it is below 10,000 crores. And Prism is all about 25,000 crores, sir. The reason why I have taken these 4 samples is these companies are listed in the BSE for the past 10 years, sir. Because as we know that the stock exchanges, in the stock exchanges, some companies move on and some companies move off, sir. But right from that 2008, 9 to 2000,
Madam,
is,
just a minute.
sir. That is the reason,
Just a
sir,
minute.
taken.
If you look at the market, is it not nice to take the market share instead of market capitalization? When you take the criteria company,
Yes, sir.
is it not
Their
wise?
market-
Because the moment you talk about market capitalization to
Yes,
any
sir.
sort of performance in the stock market, are you linking to the performance in the stock market? Are you linking to what is called profitability analysis? Since you are not linking to profitability of the stock price movement,
No,
what
sir.
is the justification in just lying your entire criteria selection based on market capitalization?
Market capitalization is not only my basis, sir, but I have shown the companies which are listed in the BSE for the past 10 years.
Okay.
That is
Got it.
a thing, sir.
Okay.
That is
So
only one
now
criteria.
you talk about ANOVA.
Yes, sir.
Now you have taken only 4 companies. So is it justified to take ANOVA as a technique? You talk about between group and within group.
Yes, sir.
How do you justify?
Hello, sir.
In ANOVA, you're talking about within group and between group.
Yes,
That
sir.
different statistical parameters.
Yes, sir.
Taking just 4 companies, how do you justify that?
We can take more than 2 companies. We can take, sir, ANOVA.
Okay, fine. So as far as the market share is concerned, I mean, what are the other companies that you could have taken as part of the study?
Other
Taken
companies.
yes,
So
other
we can
companies.
also take, and Heidelberg also, so we can also take, sir. It is also having, but it is a foreign company. That's what we have not taken, sir. Heidelberg.
Okay, now coming to the report sent by the 3 examiners, there are certain questions in the report. Please defend those questions. And now one of the question is that, what are the challenges and difficulties faced by the researcher in conduct of this study, and how did the researcher overcome them?
Yes, sir. Even I have also faced a lot of challenges in the beginning stages, sir. Starting, I have went for the study of working capital management in YSR district, which is located in Andhra Pradesh. But because of inconsistency of data and we didn't find the balance sheets, later on we have shifted that study to the national level. And there we have taken the 4 companies which are listed in the BSE. And moreover, availability of data is also not at a free hand, sir. So even I have approached certain sort of people for the primary data, but they have not responded up to the mark. So these are all the challenges what I have faced. Apart from the professional challenges, personal challenges are also there, because I, being as a mother of 2 children, so working on this completely, on this particular research work is not been possible for me. That's the reason I have been not given certain complete answers for your questions, sir. So I'm sorry for that also. So these are the four
Okay. The second question.
work-life balance. I overcome it.
Can we
Second
consider
question,
the
given
type
an
of
opportunity.
answers, ma'am?
Sir?
Uma Devi,
Sir?
can we consider that type of alibis?
Cha.
Are you suggesting us to take such type of answers to the into problem?
No, sir. What are the challenges that I have faced? I am portraying.
Many
in that.
challenges will be there, ma'am.
Any, sir? Yes, sir.
You are not only the research scholar, only the research scholar. Many
Yes, sir.
research scholars are working.
Yes,
But
sir.
by giving such type of answer, you cannot come out from your responsibility. I am sorry.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Yes. You have to keep a note of it, madam, right? Because challenges will be there at the personal front also, but one has to also overcome them, right?
Okay, sir.
The next question is that given an opportunity, how do you like to improve the present work?
Yes, sir. Sir, here I have an answer for this, sir. As efficient management of working capital is a fundamental part of overall corporate strategy in the creating shareholders value, no, sir. Today, the management of working capital is one of the most challenging aspects of overall financial management, especially that too in the cement industry. So here, if you lay down the proper practices of working capital management and make the companies to be more profitable, it also leads to the wealth maximization, sir. So I may link up this working capital management to the shareholders value in the future if the work is being extended to me.
Okay, so you would like to link it to shareholders wealth
Yes,
maximization.
sir. Shareholders wealth maximization.
See, my last comment on the work is that, madam,
Yes,
you have
sir.
done a good work. You have done a
Thank
good
you,
work.
sir.
You have analyzed all the aspects of working capital management. It's my sincere appeal to you
Yes,
that
sir.
when you do a work on working capital management, which has been thoroughly done in previous decades by many scholars, it's not a very
Yes,
new
sir.
topic.
Yes, sir.
The objective must be to go depth
Okay, sir.
in coming out with some policy implications,
Okay, sir.
not general suggestions.
Okay, sir.
Because most of the suggestions
Specificity should
are
be
very
there.
obvious. There are very obvious suggestions. For
Okay,
example,
sir.
have you gone through what is called cash management?
Yes, sir.
Actually, what are the issues in cash management? In depth,
Okay, sir.
and given a concrete suggestion how they can improve.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, working capital management standalone
Yes, sir.
does not lead to efficiency as such.
Okay, sir.
Unless we link to certain measurable parameter like profitability, or as you said, shareholders wealth maximization,
Yes, sir.
the research work more or less remains incomplete.
Okay, sir.
So please consider that when you want to extend the research work, but within the
Definitely, sir.
frame of your scope,
Yes,
it
sir.
justified what you have done is an excellent work.
Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir.
The professors, I am through. Please tell us what to proceed next.
Yes, sir. You can proceed with your comments, sir. Final comments.
Okay.
Already 1.5 hours over.
Yes. I have a class at 12 noon also.
Yeah. You can declare, sir. You can declare, sir.
So I think based on the presentation of Madam Uma Devi, and based on how she has defended all the questions posed by the different professors, the examiners, research scholars, and keeping in view the report of all the three examiners, I am very glad to announce, rather declare, that the university may be pleased to award the doctoral degree to Madam Uma Devi for successfully completing the research work. This is my final
Yes, sir.
comment on it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Swaroop. We
Thank
are
you, sir.
looking
Thank you,
forward
sir.
to meet you in person in our place.
Sure, sir. Very soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
On the way out, sir.
We will find some time, and you are welcome to our university campus, sir. please come.
Sure, sir.
We'll
And
have-
if any of the professors over here, as and when you wish to come to Odisha, please make it a point to visit our university.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are on the
I know the importance of Utkal University. I know the gentlemanship of that Utkal University professors, and we are so happy, sir. Please visit our place, sir, once.
Sure, sir. Sir, actually, we are in the midst of NAC visit.
Okay.
Because,
Okay. That's what Amrut Prasad told me. Amrut Prasad told me about it.
Yes, sir. I think tomorrow is the date when we have to submit the SSR report.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we are the only university in the state with A+.
Okay.
There are 19 universities in the state. So we
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
only one A+. Now the challenge is to make it A++.
Okay.
So a lot of work has to be done, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's my pleasure, sir, to be associated with the university.
Please.
Sir. Thank you
Please.
so much, sir.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, it's my great.
Congratulations, Uma Devi,
Thank you so much, sir.
for becoming doctorate.
Thank you so much, sir, with your blessings, sir. And I would like to convey my great gratitude towards my guide. And I bow my head in front of him. For the past 5 years, he was been with me, working with me a lot, and made me to do this happen. So I am so grateful to him, sir. On account of this, really, I can't express my words. Really, that made me to be very happy. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, one and all, sir, and all the professors of Department of MBA, Yogi Vemana University. So I respect you a lot, and in near future also I need your suggestions. Thank you for the wonderful support, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and congratulations to the guide as well, Sir A. Prasad Reddy.
It is my huge privilege to provide the thanks for this PhD Viva examination, sir. On behalf of the University Department of Business Management,
కొద్దిగా వెనక్కి పో
we hope
వెనక్కి ఫేస్ కనిపిస్తుంది
Thank you, sir. May I be allowed to leave? I have a class now, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Please.
Professor Satiswarup, sir, not only for accepting the adjudication of the thesis, but also for acting as chairman for conducting this PhD Viva House in spite of his busy night schedule, sir. So we are very much thankful. So I take this opportunity to thank Sir Srinivas sir, Dean, so Dr. Subbarayan sir, President DOS, so Dr. S. Venkatasubbarayan sir, HOD, head of the department, so my colleagues, so examination branch, adjudicators, data contributors, authors, HR personnel, research scholars, and students for their cooperation and support, successful completion of PhD to Dr. Finally, we must thank to all the persons who has directly or indirectly helped her for the PhD to Dr. Ulma sir. Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అమృత్ గారు థ్యాంక్ యూ
Sir,
కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్ ఉమాదేవి యువర్ సార్ హ్యాస్ టేకెన్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ రిస్క్
Because of that, he became so lean, Subraidu.
సార్ యా సార్
Because of that serious research work, from last 5 years is not a joke.
Yeah, right. Sir has sir left, sir?
Welfare.
సార్ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినట్టుగా ఆయన మళ్ళీ లాభం సంతోషపడలేక కడప వచ్చినట్టుగా
I am leaving. Okay, but thank you, Amrut.
సార్
For giving us opportunity to question.
ఆయన సార్ ఈరోజు మీరు లేరని మధ్యాహ్నం డిన్నర్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు సార్ ఆయన